Okay. I remember when I went surfing for the first time. I hated it. My sister and my mother were better than me, and I got beaten up by the waves and got rashes from the surfboard. But something kept drawing me back. In fact, every time I went, I liked it more and more. It probably helped because I was getting better each time. One day, I saw a surf teacher on the beach coming back for searching for trash in the ocean. Among all the plastic bags and sandals were a large number of surf fins. I couldn't believe that there were so many surf fins in one small patch of ocean, round but to belong in Canggu. So I asked the instructor if I could borrow his goggles. I went into the ocean, battled past the waves until I could see the beautiful reef. But right there, among all the multicolored coral, I saw something clearly human-made. A bright red surf fin. I took a deep breath and dived down to the ocean, to the bottom of the ocean. But it was stuck. I tried to collect it, but it was stuck under a big rock. And suddenly I was out of breath. I was going up, gasping for air. Took a deep breath and tried again. I removed the rock and collected the fin, but before I could celebrate too much, I saw another one. Before too long, collecting fins became part of my surfing routine. I always go at low tide to collect them with my friends and my sister on a longboard and a bag. I had all the fins collected, and now I have more than 76 fins from the bottom of the ocean. But the question was, what should I do with them? Behind me, you can see the plastic constructed by humans every day. The first two, polyethylene and terephthalate, and high-density polyethylene are most common to be recycled. How are these plastics produced? First, the oil gets mined out of the ground. Then the boats bring it to the oil factory where they make plastics. Then the oil goes to the factory where they make plastic products in millions of different forms to be used all around the world. And as you know, it all has to end up somewhere. Around 8 million pieces of plastics enter our oceans every day. Now there are about 5.25 trillion macro and micro pieces in our oceans that need to get cleaned up. This seems like an overwhelming number, especially if you're just a 14-year-old who loves surfing. But I wanted to do my part. I had all the fins collected, but I didn't really know what I should do with them. So I asked the owner of Palme Bali if he had an idea. I had an idea to make old surf fins into new surf fins, but he said no, that's not possible. So I admit this was a setback, but I kept thinking about other ways to help. And then one of my best friends came up with the idea to make combs out of old surf fins. Now, just to be clear, this isn't a comb for your hair. It's a wax comb. A wax comb is a tool to be used for the maintenance and removal of surfboard wax on the surfboard. The jagged edge is used to create texture grooves for improvement of the traction on the surfboard. The straightened edge is used to scrape off unwanted wax. I started working out how I could make these fins into wax combs. And that's how I hit up on my project. To recycle old surf fins and make wax combs out of them. To reduce production and consumption of plastics. How do I make the wax combs? I use the old surf fins that I found in the ocean found in the ocean. First, I used a laser cutter to create the lines that I need to cut later on. Then, once the lines are in place, I go to the bandsaw. This is the hardest part because it's easy to make mistakes. That's why I really need to stay concentrated, otherwise I could lose my fingers. After the jagged edges are in place, I move over to the sanding machine, where I make one edge sharper. This is the hardest. This is the part that will scrape off unwanted wax. The final step in my process is to use the polishing machine to make the wax come smooth and shiny. And see here the final result. As you can see, I also created my own. Oh, that's how I make them. Blah, 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 blah. As you can see, I also created my own logo. The logo is a Japanese symbol that means Taka in Japan. Okay. I think my wax combs have a great opportunity in the surf market because my wax combs are upcycled and sustainable. I think it's great to help the oceans all around the world. And I think it's great to help the oceans and coral reefs all around the world. I also believe this talk about reducing the manufacture of new plastic products is critical in this time. The ocean is my second home now, and I want to protect my home. When I touch the warm ocean water, I feel home. But this home is dying all around the world. We all know that our oceans need protection. But in the last 30 years, 50% of our corals globally have died. And 90% may die in the next century if we don't do something soon. I know that my project can make a difference to ensure the beauty for countless of generations. I may only be a 14-year-old who loves surfing, but I know I can make a difference. And so can all of us. So what are you going to do to help? Thank you to the Great Quest teachers, the IHAB team, Peck Francis, Maurice, my after-school Quest tutor, my parents and my sister, and of course my friends. Hello, the Netherlands.